Okay, one more thing. I would like to share with all of you that I am sure you must be aware about it, that the lectures of Professor Alpesh Ganatra are cancelled today because of the unfortunate demise of his father. So I would request all of us to maintain a 1 minute of silence for the prayer of his father. We may have a 1 minute of silence and then we will have a Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Let me share my screen with all of you. Okay, so here I have just giving you the brief idea about how the dashboard looks like. We have already prepared in the last session deleting this. Such a beautiful work I had done. I need to delete this now. And you people should also be taking care of this. That only two things would be required from our side. One is the master data, another one is the secondary data in the work file which I have sent to you. If you have any other worksheets which are entered there, then you might get confused while preparing the dashboard. So I request all of you to delete all those worksheets which are not important, not required as of now. So I'm deleting all this. And here you must be able to see that I have only two worksheets now. One is the master data, another one is the secondary data. Once all of you are there with me, just give me a confirmation. I know any one of you can give me, and then we'll move ahead. Shall I go ahead now, all of you? Okay. So here I have the data, and before creating any dashboard, you must first fix that what are the things you require in the dashboard, what kind of a chart you want to get appeared over there, what kind of things you want as a part of your visualization in your dashboard. So that needs to be done by fixing certain tasks, right? And that is dependent on your requirement, that what kind of a dashboard you want to prepare. Now here I have certain requirements, and I have told you that these requirements are here. Is this everything must be there in the chart format? Now these are nothing but the pivot charts only, but we would be compiling all these pivot charts together and we'll be putting somewhere into a dashboard, and in dashboard we will be preparing certain slicers. And if we'll be clicking one, then entire data would be changed for all these pivot charts. So here the first thing which you should take care about is that please find your tasks first which are required to prepare your dashboard. Now, what are the things, what kind of visualizations you want in your dashboard? Please write it down somewhere. And based on that, try to apply the different pivot charts in the different worksheets. And once you have the different worksheets for the different charts, then we will be able to build the dashboard from that. So here I have the four kind of visualizations which I want in my dashboard, and that needs to be changed based on my applied criteria in my dashboard. So our first task would be, everyone should be listening this very carefully, is that we want different worksheet for each of this task. That would be our first task. For each of these tasks, let's prepare the different worksheet. So here we have the job category wise and gender wise household income in rupees. That is the first task we have. So what I'll do, I'll go to the master data, and in that master data, I will go to the pivot chart option. You people are already aware about this. First, I need to select the appropriate data in order to avoid the confusion later on. Once the entire data is selected, going to the insert tab, and in insert tab, please select the option of pivot chart and prepare one pivot chart somewhere. I am preparing one pivot chart, pressing OK. Now I am sure one different worksheet would have been inserted. Now let's rename this worksheet first. How you can rename this? You may go over there in the name of that particular worksheet, have a right click over there. My mouse cursor is there. You may check it again. Have a right click and go to the rename worksheet option. I'm giving the name task 1, pressing enter. Now let's see that what is the requirement of the task 1 for today. These are the tasks, this kind of visualizations we want to get appeared on our dashboard. So the first thing is job category wise, gender wise, household income in rupees. So let me go to the task 1. Let me drag the job categories there in the axis fields. Now here I have the job categories, and then the first another thing which I require is the gender. So I'm dragging the gender as well in the legends fields. Now you people are already aware that what is the difference between this legend series and axis fields. Let me go to the third thing, which is the requirement of the first task, and that is the household income in rupees. So dragging the household income in rupees there in the values. Where do I have household income in rupees? Dragging there into the values. And you people are aware now, I need not say about this again and again, that what needs to be put into the legend series and what needs to be put into the axis fields. If you would have put this gender into the axis field and age category into the legend series, then the main category of bifurcation would have been the gender, and the subcategory would have been your age categories. But let me take the age category over here and gender there in the legend series. So this is how the data should look like. And here I have the data now. And here I have the sum of household income as well. The task 1 is accomplished. And once the task 1 is accomplished, we would move to a different task and the different worksheet for the different task. So you may take a snap of it if you want to, or you may just follow the instructions which I am giving to you right now. Task 1 is accomplished. Now let's go to the second one. Zone wise household income in rupees. So again, creating the pivot chart for that. I know that's a very repetitive exercise, but we need to prepare the each and every pivot chart in a different worksheet in order to create the the dashboard, which would be dynamic and interactive one. So going to the insert tab again and selecting the chart of the first one here, pressing OK as it is, whatever the by default option which are available to you. Let me understand that was zone wise. Okay, now zone is there in the geographic locations. Now geographic locations needs to be put into this axis fields, and household income in rupees, again, that is the requirement which must be put into the values. Values is something which is a numerical data on which you may perform certain arithmetic operations. If you would have the categorical data like male and female or certain categories are established, then if you'll be putting that data into the values, it will not be able to give you anything more than the count. Because when you have the categorical data, only numerical function which you may use on that is the count, nothing else. So your numerical data on which you want to perform certain arithmetic operations must be there in the values. Okay, I am reiterating that again and again so that you people get to know about it. Now, the name of the worksheet I'm changing. Right click, rename, task 2. And let me create it for the task 3 as well. I hope everyone is there with me till now. And I would be waiting for you for 1 minute once this all 4 tasks are accomplished. Let me move to the third one we have here, that is birth month wise average age of employees. Yes, some people would ask me here in the second task actually. Let me rewind it a bit. Some people would be like, sir, why did you put this into the axis field and not in the Legion fields? That's fine, you may put it as per your requirement. Whatever the presentation you want to give, you may drag it over there in the Legion fields too, like this. But the problem specifically we have during this corona period, we want to maintain the social distancing. उनको बोलो प्यार मोहब्बत कम करे और अलग हो जाए. We would be putting this Legion series into the axis field over here. And task 2 is accomplished. So what I'm trying to say is that you may put it over there in the Legion series, that's fine. But this, then there won't be any separation. I mean, there would be only one category and which subcategories would be prepared. And there won't be any differences between these columns, distance between these columns. So that's why, let me put it in the Excel, it would look better. And then I may go to the third one, and everyone should do it along with me. Birth month wise average age of employees. And I'm keeping it open for everyone. Who will tell me that what I need to do now? Once the pivot chart is created, which thing needs to be dragged where? Yes, I have a pivot chart for that now. Can someone tell me which thing needs to be dragged where for that? Good afternoon, beta.
Birth month.
Okay, where? Axis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and values? बच्चीज would be like, sir, आप टास्क तो बताओ, टास्क भूल जाते हैं. देखो क्या है, सुनो. Birth month wise average age of employees.
Age of employees.
Very true. So which one? Good. So average, this age in years or age category, which one?
Age category.
Age category is the categorical data, beta, where you have the various categories of age, 5 to 6. On that, you may not perform, you will not be able to perform the numerical operation. So it should be age in years. If you want to find the average, obviously it must be continuous data, which is given in the numbers. Categorical data ke upar you cannot have the numerical operations. So clicking over here, value field settings, and instead of summation, we would be taking the average, pressing OK. And I can see from this chart that these people are the oldest population in my organization. Some people would be like, sir, आपका organization कहाँ पे हो गया? बेटा सोचने तो दो मुझे बड़ा. करेंगे नहीं करेंगे वो बात की बात है, सोचने में कहाँ पैसे लगते हैं. And here, these people are the youngest population I have in terms of average age. Obviously, sum of age does not give you any interpretation, right? What's the meaning of adding all ages? There is no meaning of it. If you want something as an interpretation, then you may find the average age of it, so that you can come to know that what is the average age of this population belonging to that category. Okay, sir, we have got it. Once that is done, we may give the name task 3. And now, I guess the last one is pending, giving the chance to everyone to interpret this and let me know what to do, where we should put, what kind of a thing we should put, which box needs to be utilized for what particular detail. Can someone tell me?
The level of education in access and gender and regions.
Okay, level of education in access, gender in region, and what will be in the values?
Debt to income.
Debt to income.
Very true. Now, what is the interpretation of the debt to income ratio? I have already stated to you last time around, but still for the clarification, I would say that higher the ratio we have, which is debt to income, higher is the leveraged position you are in. Now, what do I mean when I say leveraged position? That means the risk. If your yearly income is 1 lakh rupees and the total debt you have taken is 10 lakhs rupees, that means your debt to income ratio will come 10 times. So that means you have taken the debt which is equivalent to 10 times of your yearly income. And higher the ratio would be, higher is the risky position. You will be under the burden of this so much of debt. There is no problem in taking the debt, but you should have the capacity as well to bear that debt. And the capacity is measured in terms of the total overall income in yearly basis you are able to make. The one who will be able to make the 5 lakhs rupees of income on yearly basis, his ratio will just come at 2. He has the capacity to take the debt. So debt is something which cannot be, on which you cannot have the analysis based on the absolute numbers. It must be compared with the relative income you are earning. Okay. Let me go to this. Insert pivot chart. Pressing OK. And what did you tell me? Level of education should be in axis. Okay, dragging there. Then some people would be like, sir, gender must be in the legend series. Okay, dragging over there. Then debt to income ratio must be in the values, which is something which is a numerical data, needs to be taken into the values. So debt to income ratio, dragging it over there in the values. And instead of summation, we would be finding the average of it, because summation does not give you any analytical interpretation. What is the meaning of adding all this debt to income ratio? It does not satisfy any purpose, sir. Clicking over here, then going to the value fill settings. Instead of summation, we would be selecting the average, pressing OK, and here I have. And if I try to analyze this chart a bit, I don't think there is a major difference between all these categories, but these people are slightly having the higher debt to income ratio as compared to the other people. Now, there could be 2 possible reasons behind this higher debt to income ratio. One is that their overall income would be less. Another, they have taken too much of debt as compared to their income. Whether you increase the numerator or you decrease the denominator, both are same, right? So those female who have the college degree are having the highest debt to income ratio. That's fine. Okay, let me rename this task 4. Yes, anyone want to say something? Once all these tasks are accomplished, we may take a break of 1 minute and then we will start building the dashboard. So I hope everyone is there with me till now. And I would expect the confirmation to be received either by unmuting yourself, or you may put this through the chat box that you are there with me till now. मैं अंतर्यामी नहीं हूं, मैंने ज्योतिष शास्त्र नहीं पढ़ा है, और ज्योतिष शास्त्र पढ़ा होता फिर भी मुझे आपको सामने से देखना पड़ता है. ऐसे सुनते सुनते बातें करते करते रेडियो जॉकी की तरह तो कोई भी ज्योतिष शास्त्र नहीं कर सकता, तो मुझे मालूम ही नहीं है आप क्या कर रहे हो वहां पे, तो आपको मुझे कंफर्मेशन देना पड़ेगा बेटा थ्रू द चैट बॉक्स. For others, I am waiting for 1 minute, uninterrupted.
सर फर्स्ट टास्क फिर से शो कीजिए ना वो.
पहला पहला टास्क है, पहली पहली बार है. Here we have the first task. You may check this again, beta.
ओके सर डन.
Okay, for others, I am waiting for 1 minute. Okay, let me convert myself into the CCTV camera, surveillance camera, and I can see, oh, there were many yes sirs. But after 12:59, I have only 7 to 8 yes sirs. So waiting for others' confirmation. I'm not aware about the fact that whether you have done it or not. Okay, so we have received from Miss Shweta as well. Good to see that. Mr. Rakshat too, good. Everyone else would be doing it. Do not worry, dashboard is not something which is too much complicated in nature. You will have to just the inbuilt functions which are there in the Excel. Just follow the instructions I give you from here, nothing else. Okay, so now once that is done, fellas and fellies, now what you will have to do, you will have to create one more worksheet and you will have to name it as dashboard. So I'm creating one worksheet and I'm renaming this as dashboard. I hope you would also rename this like dashboard. Okay, once that is done, then I think to look it like a dashboard, I need to change the makeup a bit. थोड़ा सा मेकअप कर लेते हैं तो मुखड़ा बदल जाए वर्कशीट का, तो थोड़ा सा लगे कि वर्क डैशबोर्ड है, ना बड़ा नाम दिया है डैशबोर्ड, इतना बड़ा नाम दिया है, तो वैसे तरह का मेकअप भी होना चाहिए ना थोड़ा सा. तो शादी में जाते हो तो थोड़ा मुखड़ा सजा वजा के जाते हो कि नहीं जाते हो. तो इस बार भी हम थोड़ा सा इसको चेंज करते, क्या करते, काम करते, पहले तो कंट्रोल ए प्रेस करते हैं. लेट्स प्रेस कंट्रोल ए so that entire worksheet is selected. Let me change the color of this worksheet, whatever the color you want to give, a light color a bit. I think this color is also fine. I mean, whatever the color you want to give, you should, that's fine. Okay, this is also looking like good, like a dashboard. Okay, so I have taken this color. You may take it as per your choice. No restriction bar on your choice. Obviously, no one can restrict your choice. And once that is done, then what I'll do is, then whatever the task that I have done till now, no, everyone should focus very carefully. I would be copying those pivot charts and would be taking over there in that dashboard. So what you will have to do is click over here randomly anywhere on the chart, wherever there is an empty space, click over here. Once the chart is selected, there are two ways by which you can copy. You may have a right click and select the option of copy. That is one way. There is another way as well, that you may just press Ctrl C. That's fine. And you may go to the dashboard and left hand side corner पे Ctrl V. So बाबूजी को बता दो कि साइड में कोने में चले जाओ आप. आपकी जिम्मेदारी पूरी. बाबूजी के चले गए कोने में. So we have one chart. I am just reducing the size of it from here. Whatever the size you want to keep, you may keep. Better to keep the smaller size because we have 4 tasks. And many other slicers will also come into the picture for the dashboard. In the similar fashion, all of you would be taking the task 2, Ctrl C, the chart that you have prepared, and dragging it over here in the dashboard. I'm keeping it over here too, reducing the size a bit to make it, proper. Taking the third one. Task 2 is done. Let's move to the third one. Click on this chart anywhere randomly on their face. उसके मुंह पे जाके से उंगली करो. फिर you may have a right click, copy, and then you can go to the dashboard and you may put it over there. Oops, ये दोनों कहाँ पे गए dashboard पे? हाँ, ऊपर है शायद. Yes. Putting it over here. Ctrl V. Reducing the size a bit. I'm not putting so much specification related to the formatting and size and all. Otherwise, it would be the great injustice with the intellect of my students. They would be like, sir, ऐसी बातें मत बताओ, please. Okay, नहीं बताता हूँ. And we have task number 4 too. Copying here and pasting it over there in the dashboard. Ctrl V. Okay, let me reduce the size a bit. I guess it's the extra small now. Let me make it a little bit larger. Let's make it larger. I know some people would start thinking about something else, but I need to control the horses of intellect here. Everyone would increase the size a bit. And let me change the size like this, because see, we have certain slicers too which would be coming, right? So that's why we need to adjust the size a bit. Okay, now all these 4 boxes are created. The problem here is that, everyone, please note it down, that, if you will be making some changes in the slicers which you are going to insert in some time to come, the size of these boxes, these charts, will also be little bit adjusted. And how it would be looking like, if you will be adjusting something over there and the chart would be overlapping another, it would be a bad presentation. So what can we do is, we may tell to the Excel, hey Excel, इधर आ. Excel बोला क्या करना है सर बताओ. मैं बोला यार इसका साइज फिक्स कर दे. तो Excel बोला कैसे करो तू? वो तुझे मालूम है भाई, कैसे करना है तू कर. तो बोला Excel बता, मैं आपको बताता हूँ कैसे करना है, आप रुको. बोला चल ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. तो बोला सर आप है ना पहले सभी चार्ट्स को सिलेक्ट करो। तो मैं बोला कैसे करूं, कंट्रोल ए करूं? बोला नहीं नहीं सर, आपको इतना भी नहीं मालूम है, यू आर टीचिंग द एडवांस सेक्शन, आपको मालूम नहीं है कि सभी चार्ट्स को कैसे सिलेक्ट करना। बोला यार कंट्रोल ए से तो नहीं होगा, अब क्या करूं मैं, क्या करूं क्या करूं क्या करूं? तो एक काम करते हैं, अपन है ना इस चार्ट के ऊपर क्लिक करते हैं, ठीक है, बस फर्स्ट वाले के ऊपर। लेट्स हैव अ क्लिक ऑन द फर्स्ट चार्ट, देन प्रेस कंट्रोल की। सी मैंने पहले कंट्रोल की प्रेस नहीं की है, प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। मैं कंट्रोल की पहले प्रेस नहीं करता हूं, पहले मैं गया चार्ट के ऊपर, मैंने सिलेक्ट किया, अब कंट्रोल की। नाउ विथ माउस क्लिक यू may select second, control key is not relieved yet, it is there pressed, selecting third, selecting fourth. Once all these four are selected, everyone should be able to see one option called format over there, one tab called format. In that format, everyone should be able to see one drop down arrow which is there at size. Now you may click on this size and properties, this drop down arrow, my mouse cursor is over there. If you click on that, now such kind of a properties are getting appeared. Now in that property, you should select the third option which is don't move or size with cells. मतलब सेल के ऊपर तुम स्लाइसर के ऊपर कुछ भी करो ना तो चार्ट की साइज में कुछ चेंज नहीं होगा। तुम सेल को बड़ा कर दो, छोटा कर दो, कम कर दो, निकाल दो, डिलीट कर दो, कुछ भी करो, स्लाइसर डालो, स्लाइसर ना करो, डैशबोर्ड बनाओ ना बनाओ, ये चार्ट की जो साइज है उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं चाहिए। I would select the third option which is don't move or size with cell. Once that is pressed, you may go outside or you may just press close over here. Okay, now you will have to again give me the confirmation that all of you should be there along with me till now. And once you,
So what did you do after clicking on the first chart? Can you repeat?
okay, can I repeat? I went to the first chart, I clicked over there, then I pressed control key, then with mouse click I'll keep on selecting all these charts. Control key is not relieved yet, it is still pressed, second, third, fourth. So everywhere you must be able to see the dots now. That is the sign of selection, that is the indication of selection of all these charts together. Once that is done, then you may go to Sir Shahrukh Khan, और वो भी बकरी के जैसे. So here I have the format, and in format I have the size, and here you must be able to see one option, size and properties. Click over there and select in properties the third option which is don't move or size with cells. मतलब कि भाई मैं बाकी के सेल में कुछ भी करूं, तेरे को उधर से हिलना नहीं है, ठीक है, तो उधर का उधर ही रहे, मैं कुछ भी करूं तुम्हें हिलना नहीं है। एक्सेल बोले ठीक है सर, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, बोला बस ऐसा ही। Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so once that is done, then we may select randomly any chart over here. Say I have selected the first chart, huh? Everyone would do it along with me step by step. Do not lag behind, otherwise it would be difficult for you to cop up later on. So first one is selected. How do you select? Randomly anywhere at the empty space you may have a click. So first chart is selected. What I'm doing now is, everyone should look at this very carefully because now it is most important one. You may go to the insert tab, and in insert tab you must be able to see, everyone should be able to see the slicer option. Slicer, I'm clicking on that slicer, and if you see, slicer is nothing but all the headings you had in your master table, no, all those headings are displayed. See, now you will be asking me, sir, headings तो display हो रहे, लेकिन अब हमें क्या करना है वो तो बताओ. तो मैं बता रहा हूँ बेटा, अब है ना हमें स्लाइसर क्रिएट करने। अब स्लाइसर क्रिएट करते तो कैसा लगता है पहले देखने की कोशिश करो, फिर मैं आपको इसका इंटरप्रिटेशन बताता हूँ। लेट मी क्रिएट द स्लाइसर ऑफ say geographic locations, or let me take let me take the birth month, first one. Ready? So I have just click on the birth month and I am pressing OK. So this is how my slicer looks like, where every birth month is written in one column. Now what I need to do is I would take this, with mouse click I would drag it over here on right hand side, और उसको यहाँ पे बाबूजी को बैठा देंगे। बीच बीच में कहाँ पे कितनी बार नड़ते हो यार, साइड में चले जाओ, चलो चलो। तो हमने बाबूजी को साइड में धकेल दिया। Now that is the one slicer created. Now let me create another slicer. What is the first step? Everyone should focus very carefully with attention, utmost attention. You may click over here randomly on the first chart on an empty place. You may go to the insert. Then you may go to the slicer, and you may select the slicers, at the same time as well by clicking too many things. But thing is that I wanted to repeat this again so that you get to know the process. Repetition से retention बढ़ता है इसलिए. So now I am creating the size slicer of job satisfaction. So where do I have the job satisfaction? One is job satisfaction, one is marital status. Then let me take level of education, job category. Okay, so this many slicers I think would be enough. Now press OK. So all these slicers are created, see. Now what we'll be doing, we would be putting this slicer somewhere into, empty places. बाबूजी को बताएंगे कि जगह पे चले जाओ, आपको बहुत शाना बनने की जरूरत नहीं है। सभी को हमने बैठा दिया, उनके कॉर्नर में धकेल दिया। अबे ओ बुड़बक, उधर क्या कर रहा है, चल नीचे आ, नीचे आ, चल नीचे आ तू। हमने उसको भी जाके, अब यहाँ पे जगह नहीं है तो इसके काम करते, इसका स्लाइसर का साइज कम कर देते इधर से। लेट मी रिड्यूस दिस साइज, ठीक है, and let me reduce the size of this level of education too a bit. I can reduce the size from here. जो डॉट बटन दिए हुए वो डॉट से तो तुम रिड्यूस कर सकते हो, ऊपर नीचे कर सकते हो. So I'm dragging the slicer of level of education over here. So in total how many slicers I have? I guess 5. Let me reduce the size of this as well a bit. This as well a bit. Now the task is not over yet. Everyone should focus very carefully. Now thing is that, what are the options which are available to you in the slicer? You may check it. Can someone give me a confirmation that you are there along with me till now? Then I will move ahead.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, others will please give me the confirmation. So now I can start explaining the properties of the slicer. Okay, shall I move ahead, all of you? चलो सीसीटीवी कैमरा बन जाता हूँ थोड़ी देर, और सीसीटीवी कैमरे में सिर्फ एक ही यस सर आया है. ओ माय गॉड, सच अ लो टीआरपी आई हैव राइट नाउ. ओके, 4 यस सर आ गए. गुड 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 गुड. 5 यस सर आ गए फ्रॉम मिस्टर तेजस एज वेल. गुड टू सी दैट. ओके, तेजस से याद आया कि we have so many things dancing right now on the screen. So what we'll have to do over here is that thing is that if you go over there, check it, that what are the options you have in the slicer. First option here is the multi-select. Now the problem is that in some of the earlier versions before 2013 13 or 7, I think, you might not have this multiple select option, but you may have the multiple select too, right? So you may click on January. Now, how do you interpret this? If this is blue, no, that means it is selected, right? And if it is just a white background, that means it is not selected. You can interpret like this. Now from here, I may remove all these filters. So what is the interpretation of this? These 3 months are not included. All other months are included in this birth month. But the problem is one chart, and that is the first chart. Yes, if you do some change over there, no, the first chart will get changed. You may check it. See here, if I make some change, first chart is getting changed, not others. Something is there in a white background, that tells that it is not selected, and something which is there in a blue background, that means it is selected. You may change the color of this as well. That's fine. That I'll come later on. So if I click on this August, so only 4 months data I have right now, that is sum of household income for the age categories, but only for the 4 months of birth month data. Here as well, if you go to any level of education, only first chart is getting changed. तो सर ये डैशबोर्ड का मतलब क्या हुआ? सिर्फ फर्स्ट चार्ट गेटिंग चेंज हो रहा है तो we want to change every such chart? No, that is the problem we have. We want to change every chart when we make some changes in this slicers. So what can we do for that? Everyone should focus here now. You may have a right click anywhere randomly on that slicer. I'm right now there on the first slicer. See, I'm there right now in the first slicer. Right click, and you must be able to see report connections there. See, report connections. You click on that report connections and link this slicer with all other pivot tables, second, third and fourth. So हमने task 1, task 2, task 3 and task 4 चारों के साथ ये slicer को link कर दिया है. now press OK. In similar manner, you would change the connections for all 5 slicers which we have added. So going to the marital status now, randomly pressing right click anywhere, then report connections and connect it to all the pivot charts. Select all, press OK. Same way, job satisfaction, right click, report connections, select all the options, press OK. Same way, level of education, right click, report all the connections, press OK. And the last one, job category, right click, report connections, select all, press OK. So now you must be able to see that all the slicers are linked with all the charts we have on the screen now. So randomly, if you'll be making changes anywhere, no, every pivot table would be giving you such answers. See, such a beautiful visualizations we have here. Oh my God. That's why Excel is considered to be one of the most useful software, when it comes to the visualizations and data management. Because other softwares are such for the statistical analysis and for visualizations, there are many. But the thing is that the kind of a feasibility and the kind of an easiness which Excel gives, no, that is just unmatchable. You could see that such kind of an visualizations you could able to prepare without going into any technicalities of programming or any such sort of things where technical knowledge is involved. You will have to just use the inbuilt options which are available in the Excel. Now you change anything. Now what do we understand by the selection? That the thing which is there in a blue, that is selected. The thing which is there in a white, it is not selected. You may remove the filter, so all the tabs will be selected. From here as well, you may remove the filter. This click. You may check it. See, my mouse cursor is over there on this button. Select, so filter is removed. Here as well, select, filter is removed. Here as well, select, filter is removed. Here as well, select. Now you go to any slicer, say I'm there on the first one. And if you select the first one, no, then you must be able to see one options tab inserted over there, options tab. Click on that. And in that option tab, you may, you may change the color of this, whatever you want to. There are various colors which are there. So accordingly, the size slicer color will be changed. See, this is how the color is changed now. Go to second, go to option, change the color of whatever the favorite color you have, and the color will be changed. I don't think I should tell you much about this, that you will explore on your own. So here I have one dynamic interactive dashboard where I click one thing and accordingly the entire data is getting adjusted. You click, you select as per your requirement. Now, how do you interpret this? If I interpret this, no? Here red means selected and gray means not selected. So how do you interpret this? I'm just telling you the interpretation. So all those months which are selected, so data is representing only those months, only the marital status, only the people who have the college degree, no one else, only the people who have the job categories. And for the job satisfaction, we have taken all this. And accordingly, it gives you the superb visualizations of your data, like anything. Let me remove the filter and let me take you to everything. I hope you could get this easy. Now today we have just taken 4 to 5 slicers, but in the next lecture I would try to insert few more complicated things into it. So next lecture is going to be the last lecture for, as far as the dashboard building is concerned, and then we'll move to the other aspects of the advanced Excel later on. If anyone want to have any queries or questions which they want to share with me related to the things which I have presented here, you can let me know. Else I would be assuming that others have got this. And you may give me the confirmation through the chat box that you have done it and you were there along with me for the entire lecture. As far as the content is concerned, that's it from my side for the day. You may just give me yes, sir, or yes, it looks very beautiful. Amazing screen. So imagine if you have the data of, 1 lakh or 5 lakhs of rows, and you want such kind of a visualizations where one particular dashboard will also be prepared. Excel will be helping you like anything. Opening my attendance file, and once I will open that, then I will circulate there in a chat box. Let me tell you that I analyze the responses in the chat box a lot. I try to count that as well. I have applied some macros in the Excel where I see that which students are interacting a lot, which students were interacting earlier, now they are not. I try to analyze the data based on the chat box responses too. Some people would be like, sir, क्या जरूरत है उसकी? जरूरत नहीं है बेटा, मजा आता है इसलिए करता हूँ। और सूर्यवंशम में डायलॉग नहीं हो, अनुपम खेर रोक के उसको बोलता, क्या करके क्या है ये, तो मतलब मजा आया, मेरे को ऐसा मजा आता है करने से. Sharing my attendance with all of you. And pressing enter. Yes, bars were dancing when you change the filters. I think we have very good dancer among us. Tejas is the good dancer, if I'm not wrong. Yes or no? Yes, yes. I have come to know. टैलेंट होती है ना तो ख्याति बाहर फैल जाती है. सम ख्याति वुड बी टेकिंग इट पर्सनली. बेटा ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब कीर्ति की बात कर रहा हूँ. मतलब कोई कीर्ति होगी तो वो भी पर्सनली ले लेगी. मतलब फेम की बात कर रहा हूँ यार. So we have, when you have the talent and skills, the fame reaches to the people like anything without even putting your efforts. Okay, from my side, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your rest of the day and keep practicing. If you want to practice it, I would be giving you the tasks on it. But this is something which is, related to the practice. You should keep on doing the practice on this. Enjoy the rest of the day. That's it from my side. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara.